self-improvement information is everywhere now. We all have access to the internet, and it's like the secret arcane knowledge is basically just public information. If you want to know how to start a business, if you want to know how to get stronger, improve your body, if you want to develop a stronger mental aptitude, all that information is out there, and you could just watch a video or read a book on how to improve yourself in whatever way you wanted to. It's created this sense of hyper competition, I would say, because everybody wants to be better than average, and we're all striving to, or at least we have this ambition of wanting to actually be better than everyone else. I know I've read this statistic too, talking about how I think over 70% of Americans believe that they're above average. And it's crazy to think that more than the average number of people thinks that they're better than everyone else. And we sort of have this mentality, especially as Americans, that you have to be the best, you have to be the richest, you have to be the best looking, you have to be the most accomplished. And there's all these pieces of media like YouTube, the news, Instagram, TikTok that keep popularizing this idea that you have to be constantly focusing on being the best at everything you do. And it's crazy to think too that everybody pretty much knows what they have to do because this information is out there. But the big differentiator is that almost nobody's actually doing what they need to do to get to where they want to. There's a difference between having that ambition, but also having the drive behind it to actually put in the time and effort to get to where you need to. I'd say that's the big separator. It's the willingness to actually do the boring, repeated hard work, doing the process, not trying to take any hacks and shortcuts, because that's what a lot of us see now too, is like investing, for instance, has become super popular now, like day trading. People think that there's this shortcut to immediate quick riches by day trading. But in reality, statistically, most people who do day trading end up losing huge amounts of money. And the people who are actually making money from day trading are the ones selling courses on how to day trade because they made like $1 million or something. Like, they're not going to show you any of their losses either. It's a very one-sided version of the story where you just cherry pick the most important parts to sell a narrative. But the hard work, the slow work, the process is slowly investing and growing your portfolio over years as you work. And eventually it will be big enough that you'll be able to retire. You're not going to get that overnight. There's like the chances of another Bitcoin happening. And even then, Bitcoin was around for over 15 years before it became huge. The people who held on to it since the very beginning benefited a lot from it. And so even in that case, like, it wasn't just immediate overnight success. And there's still a lot of volatility involved. So the people taking the risks there understand that there's a chance of losing a lot of what they've got. But I would say that, again, like the biggest separator is actually being willing to put in the time, the effort, and grinding, like really being motivated to get things done towards your goals and being ambitious. Because all of us in reality have the option to do nothing, and realistically, that's what a lot of us default to. Like, you get home after work and you don't feel like going to the gym because as much as you want to have a healthy body, sometimes it's just easier to sit on the couch and scroll on your phone or watch TV. And it's understandable. Like, there's times where I don't want to do anything and I don't want to read, I don't want to go work out, but I motivate myself to keep going because I think about my future and the outcomes that I'll get from expanding my knowledge, from reading, from working out, and strengthening myself so that when I'm older, I'll be able to be more physically active. Because even now we see a lot of people, I used to work at a nursing home, a lot of the older people there are very feeble, very weak, and it's because they didn't have any real cardio throughout the rest of their life, as well as not really any resistance training. So their muscles are weaker, they don't have the endurance, and it's hard to go back at that age and build it up. And we have so many distractions now. The biggest enemy is instant gratification, because we have our phones that we could just open up at any moment that we want to. And they just distract us. They suck away our time. And that's one of the reasons why I've deleted Instagram. I never have gotten TikTok, but just staying off of those apps saves you so much time, and it allows you to focus towards your goals, because when you're on them, it's so easy to keep scrolling and you lose track of time. You're not able to even conserve that time towards the goals that you want to push yourself towards and actually achieve. So removing those sort of distractions from your life is a huge differentiator. But there's so many ways that we distract ourselves. The dating apps as well, like huge amounts of dopamine get spent, huge amounts of time get spent on those apps. Because similar to the TikTok and Instagram, you're swiping, looking for the next dopamine hit. And it's hard to control our minds because when we have access to those stimuluses, it's so appealing. I've been there, I know. And that's why you have to change your environment. That's why you have to remove those things in order to be able to focus on improving yourself and being able to get towards the goals that you want. The progress that you make towards your goals is a reward in and of itself. Because self-improvement is a lifelong endeavor. Like when we're working on improving our bodies, when we're working out at the gym, there's never a set endpoint that you're just gonna stop and you're gonna reap benefits all the way down the road. Once you stop working out, your muscles will start breaking down after about a month or so of inactivity. And so you continuously will have to keep maintaining them and building them up. Same thing goes for endurance. I used to be a cross-country runner, and I haven't done long distance runs in years, and my endurance is completely gone now. But should I get back into running again, I'd be able to build it up and again, reap the benefits from it. The biggest thing though is falling in love with the process. And there's a great book about it. It's called The Alchemist, where they talk about how the journey matters a lot more than the reward. It's enjoying the journey itself and the growth that you get from it as you're moving from point A to point B. Enjoy life, enjoy the experiences that you have, and self-improvement enables you to really get the most out of the life that you have by bettering yourself. Part of the process too is accepting that there's always going to be external factors that are outside of our control, but by focusing consistently on how to improve yourself and moving towards the goal, you're able to reliably increase your happiness and your well-being. Because again, falling in love with the process matters, because at the very least, that's one thing that you can control is, am I going to work out today? Am I going to read today? Am I going to meditate today? How can I keep moving the needle forwards towards improving my well-being? And you get a sense of satisfaction, especially when you're overcoming the obstacles of maybe I don't want to do it today, but you still do it. And now you have the sense of achievement and relief that you were able to push through and overcome almost like the nagging voice in the back of your mind that's telling you not to. At the end of the day, though, I will say that the results really do come down to how badly you want whatever goal you're moving towards and having a strong why, because you really do need to have an understanding of why it is that you're moving towards a better life for yourself, why you're moving towards a certain goal. Because for me, fitness helps me to release a lot of built up stress and energy. And I know that in my older age, I want to be mobile, I want to have a long, healthy life. And so starting young, continuing that habit throughout my life, I want to continue being able to do things like adventure, go hiking, go travel the world. On top of that, reading. Like I read 30 minutes to an hour every day because I want to expand my knowledge. I want to understand different perspectives. And that's a personal drive for me, as I enjoy that pursuit of knowledge. Learning is just a lifelong pursuit for me, and I don't want to give that up. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. Similar to journaling, it's important to maintain mental clarity, and me journaling daily helps me to reflect on my thoughts, and it also helps me to control my emotions more so, regulating them. That's what I would say. Self-improvement has a lot of different benefits. It is accessible to everyone. It's just a matter of your drive and your ambition and really understanding why it is that you want to achieve a certain thing so that you at least have motivation behind it. Because if you're ultimately just saying, I want to be the richest person, why? Why do you want that money? Because there's ultimately a deeper reason. And if it's just because you want to buy some flashy car, that's just looking for external motivation. And the internal drive is really, ultimately, what's going to push you further than everyone else. If you're only looking to impress other people and get validation from other people, it's going to be a lot harder, you'll find, to actually do the things that you need to. But if you find personal enjoyment in doing the small things each and every day, that's ultimately what enables you to focus on the process. It enables you to focus on improving yourself and living a better life. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support, and have a great day.